Everyone, hope you are doing well this Thursday. It's now your turn to ask the questions you want answered to regarding COVID-19. And today our guest health analyst is Dr. Payal Patel Davladabadi. She's an associate professor of public health at the University of Evansville. And Dr. Payal, I'm going to start out with this question. I'm going to ask you, how do we talk to our kids, our children? You have a young son. What is he asking you, and how do mom and dad explain it to him?
That's a great question, Brad. Just this morning, my son wanted to go to the library, and I had to explain why we couldn't go to the library. And I tell him that, you remember that virus I was talking about? Well, it's still going around. So I always tell him we have to stay at home so we can stay safe and stay healthy and stay strong. And I also talk about just washing our hands the right way so we can keep ourselves safe, but also other people safe at the same time. It's a really weird situation right now with children, and they may become fearful at times, especially if they watch the news and get all of this information regarding the coronavirus. So it's really important as parents that we just reassure our children that everything is okay. They're going to be okay. I think kids really need that. And for older children, and the CDC has a really fun interactive tool that they can learn more about viruses and things like that. So just that providing that reassurance, I think, is really essential.
I'm going to follow up on that. Sheila sent us this question. I have a 5-year-old who watches the news with me. He will ask, who can I hug? Where can we go? When will I see my friends at school again? Some of these are just very simple human interaction, and that can be pretty tough for a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old or any child.
Right. And children really need that human interaction. But again, it's really important to tell them that this may take a little bit of time, but you will soon be able to see your friends and go back to school, and just explain as parents what the virus is. I think, again, when they watch too much on the news, they may become a little bit more fearful. And we really want to minimize the fear that children have and just providing that reassurance. So just explaining that it may take a little bit of time, but they will be able to see their friends and go back to school.
And this is such a mystery still, Dr. Payal. Asymptomatic carriers, how do you battle that dynamic that is spreading this virus, especially with all the testing out there and the lack of testing in many cases?
Right. And there's actually no way to mitigate this because they are asymptomatic. And they're actually one of the carriers that are contributing to the significant spread that we're seeing. Many children are asymptomatic, no symptoms at all. They don't even know they have the virus. And now we're seeing that more and more adults are asymptomatic as well. If you're asymptomatic, you have no symptoms, you're not going to go to the doctor to get tested. So they are carriers that are spreading the virus. But again, there's really no way to mitigate this because they have absolutely no symptoms. So it's a difficult situation to control. Okay,
I need to make these questions very brief. If a woman's pregnant and tests positive during the pregnancy, is the baby at risk of being infected too? And why should you not put a mask on a baby?
There's a very low risk for the baby, so mother-to-baby transmission is really low. There have only been a handful of cases where the baby was infected, and a mask should never be worn on a baby under the age of 2 because there is a high risk of suffocation.
Some health analysts and economic analysts say we may be entering this new norm where this could be going on for another 2 years, and that begs this question: what will life be like after COVID, after the vaccine, after we go through all this?
After we go through all this, especially when restrictions are lifted a little bit this summer, it will definitely not be anything like what it was before COVID. We'll still have to practice social distancing, not have large gatherings. So until a vaccine is made and mass produced, we'll still have to have these measures in place. We'll really just have to adapt a little bit more. And I think it'll be a good new normal. We've seen a lot of solidarity here in the U.S. and around the world with respect to COVID. And hopefully we'll all come out of this much stronger and more united as a result. All
right, Dr. Payal, we'll look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you so much. And we want to hear from you. And if you have questions for our doctors, head to our Eyewitness News Facebook page or drop me a line on my Brad Bird News Facebook page. We'll be right back.